What's up, y'all? Welcome to the show. This is my official first video on YouTube and the official launch of Next Level Enrichment, where we're all about enriching your animals' lives. So if you came to find out how heavy the earth is, you came to the wrong channel. But if you came to find out more about animal enrichment, enclosures, how-to videos, and a lot of other cool things, then you came to the right place. So let me officially welcome you to the launch of Next Level Enrichment. All right, this channel is going to be kind of twofold, guys and gals. It's going to be about enclosures and enrichment. All right, so I'm trying to make enclosures more approachable for everybody in the hobby, whether you're a novice, you're more moderately involved, or you're an advanced person inside of the hobby. I also want to bring enrichment to the forefront of the hobby. I think there's a ton of videos, a ton of awareness on husbandry, because it is probably the most crucial thing, obviously, to the health of the animal. But then sometimes I think enrichment takes a back seat. So this channel is going to be mostly about enrichment, or pretty much almost exclusively about enrichment. What I am going to say is that enclosures and enrichment kind of go hand in hand. So imagine you have this big, beautiful, even oversized enclosure, but all you have is a log and a bowl in it, right? It's not going to make the animal too happy. I mean, even though it can move around, right? And at the same token, you can have a beautifully scaped, lots of enrichment, but in the wrong type or maybe even too small of an enclosure. Both are going to affect the happiness of your animal, right? They may be healthy. Your husbandry may be on point, no doubt. But we're also talking about health and happiness together, right? So that's what this channel is all about, is about increasing the happiness level of your animals by enriching their lives. Thus, next level enrichment. All right, so I've identified 4 different types of enclosures that kind of encompass everything. So you have repurposed enclosures, you have retail enclosures, you have reasonable custom enclosures or rustum, and you have refurbished enclosures from previous enclosures that you've refurbished. And this is an example of a repurposed enclosure, okay? What does repurposed mean? Well, this was a China hutch, and I turned it into an enclosure for my zero-bearded dragon, Kaiju, right here. He's sleeping, so I'm not gonna bother him. It's kind of cold out right now, so he's taking a little nap during the daytime. Be quiet, let's go in here. Oh, sorry. All right, so as you can see, I cut out the top for his lights. I put in a bunch of different kind of enrichment items. These were glass mirrors back here, so I got some tiles and I stuck them on top of there to cover up the mirrors. And there you go. Pretty simple, but at the same time, you see all the woodwork on the sides, the color, the finish, and all that stuff. I don't even think I possess the skill to recreate all of that. But if you repurpose something, you can get a magnificent new enclosure out of something that no one's using anymore. And odds are, because China hutches aren't really used too much anymore, that you can get these things pretty darn cheap. I'm going to talk more about it in a future video. In fact, I'm going to highlight all 4 of these in my next 4 videos so you can understand the ease of use of them, the cost, and the best situations for what kind of enclosure you would use for what kind of animal. I really want to encompass that, but just giving you a quick little glimpse that this is actually in my living room, and I'm telling you right now, it's a showpiece. Everyone who comes into my house, runs over here, has to look at what's going on in this China hutch. So I'm telling you, repurposed is a great option. In fact, it's probably my favorite option. All right, this is a reasonable custom, or a rustum for short. So what is a reasonable custom? Well, quite simply, it's just a custom enclosure that is reasonably attainable, okay? I think you can make some really simple ones, but then you can also go as crazy as you want, really. You can make it as advanced and beautiful as you want. I'm looking to do something in the middle. I want to make them kind of really neat looking, but also at the same time maintaining that approachability for anyone in the hobby, not using any kind of crazy tools. So what does that mean? So let's take a look at this, okay? Basically, this whole thing here is just 2x4s, some 1x1s, and metal mesh. Let me give you kind of a quick glimpse, because I am going to do a more in-depth video on this, but as you see, it's 2x4 frame, 1x1 frame for the door, and then plywood for the background, and basically just screws and a saw to build this thing. But at the same token, you can see it's got 3 doors. I think the locks have a really good impression, because they're black on top of the white. And if I wanted to, I could have really framed it out, you know, right in here and here, and made it look really pretty, or painted it, you know, if I was going to go out and say like the living room or somewhere like a show place. It's just in my office right now, so it's just kind of for me. But at the same token, it took me only maybe about 8 hours to build this thing, from conceptualizing, going and getting the materials, and then coming home, cutting it and building it and putting everything away, etc. So not too bad, and I think it looks pretty awesome. You know what I mean? It's very reasonable. It's not too bland, but at the same token, very functional. It's 3 feet by 3 feet by 2 feet. So tons of space. That's my baby rhino iguana in there. I'll do a video on him later. But yeah, so reasonable custom. All right, and retail, well, it's retail, so nothing too flashy here. This is your Exoterra 18 by 18 by 18, and pretty standard. I'm sure everyone knows what these are, but this is definitely one option out there for you, and we'll talk about also the best uses for these. As you can see, I have a, can you see him up there? Boop, boop, boop. That's a Egyptian crocodile lizard, and this is his home. All right, and this is a refurbished enclosure right down here. So as you can see, it's about, well, you can't tell really probably, but it's 6 feet long. It's 3 feet by 3 feet. It's got thick glass panes on it. It's got wired in electrical, and it's made out of like a solid 3/4 inch plywood. So when I got this though, however, while all the frame was there, the bones were there. What I mean by refurbished is whoever had owned it didn't keep their animal in good conditions, because there was feces staining the whole entire bottom of it. The outside had been just destroyed, beat down, scraped. I had to repaint it and surface it black. The glass itself had been watermarks all stained on it. I had to use vinegar and really put some elbow grease into cleaning these off and get them opaque again. And then, so, you know, it took some DIY, but for 50 bucks, this would have cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and who knows how much time to build this thing. It would cost me 50 to get it, and then some DIY. You know, I had to resurface the wood inside by sanding it and sanitizing it, and painted it and cleaned the glass, but not too bad considering what I got out of it, you know. So this is definitely a route you can go, especially in the online world we live in now. Craigslist, Facebook, OfferUp. There's always people who have all kinds of enclosures. You can have aquariums that have broken seals. You can have old bird cages that are kind of rusted and you can bring back to life with sanding and painting, to wood enclosures that you might have to even just replace some of the wood, but overall the bones are good. It's definitely a way to get a nice high quality cage that you can put a little DIY in for a very low amount. So refurbishing, definitely one of the 4 types. And I will again go over that in a future video on the best times and to use it, the average costs, what have you, and so on. But as you can see, my python can you see that? My python is really enjoying this enclosure. Lots of space to stretch out. So for 50 bucks, and then I probably put another 50 into it. Not bad, right? All right. So what can we expect from this channel in the future, guys? I'm looking to give you guys creative ideas for enrichment, enclosure builds with actual blueprints. So we'll do rebuilds of this, and I'll put in the blueprints so you can actually follow it. How-to care videos, I love to do those. I have plenty of animals that I've had for years that have grown up since they were babies, so I'm definitely into doing that. Here, come hold this for me. And even how to tame up your animals, puppy dog tame. I just got a rhino iguana up there, looking to start taming it out. In fact, I've only had it for about 3 weeks, and it's already taken food very calmly from my hand. It wasn't at first. I call that food recognition, and that's important because you're going to need food to move on to the further exchanges of relationship building with your animal. So we've kind of breached that food exchange, so he now knows that I can safely give him food, and that's going to help in further training my rhino iguana. So. But what else? Just kind of daily routine videos. I have some monthly videos planned that I want to go like on Craigslist or Facebook, find some stuff that I can repurpose and do some really cool, fun ideas on that, and much more. So just buckle up and get ready for the show. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time. Hey, real quick, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek of something before you go. Check it out. Ready?
It's so beautiful.